Well, there are several phases of the technological revolution in India. I think it's important to recognize that at the time of independence in 1947, India had very little in terms of technology base. So our founding fathers decided to focus on higher education and science and technology. So we started building more universities, more engineering colleges, R&D labs in agriculture, health, chemistry, and all of that. Those seeds we planted right after independence are now beginning to give fruits after 50, 60 years. In the process, we had green revolution, where technology helped us in producing enough food to feed then 700 million people, now 1.2 billion. That was our green revolution. Then we had technology revolution in atomic energy, space, milk production was another technological revolution. Today we are the largest producer of milk in the world. Then in between we had telecom and IT revolution. In 1980, we had 2 million telephones for 750 million people. It used to take 15 years to get telephone connection. Today we have 800 million phones and we are a nation of connected billion people. In the process, we have built very large software companies of our own. Global recognition in IT services. And we generate $70 billion worth of export from IT. So it has been part of a process, and the process continues. Of course, it is possible to reduce digital divide, but we must recognize that digital divide is about divide in education, divide in health, divide in income. It is all about disparity between rich and poor, urban, rural, educated, uneducated. Digital technology will help, hopefully, bridge that divide. So it is not a digital divide. It is a divide in standard of living, in opportunities, in health, in income. Hopefully, digital technology would bridge that by offering better education, better health services, better access to government programs, and all of that. Well, India has been sort of open to technology travel for a long, long time. Indian students went to America in very large numbers in 60s and 70s because India didn't have the kind of restrictions Chinese had at one time. So Indian diaspora sort of moved all over the world to Europe, US, Australia, and came home. A lot of our scientists are educated abroad. India is a democracy, so freedom to travel, freedom to ideas is deeply rooted in Indian system, and that's the difference. We hope social inequality would reduce. I don't think it will go down to zero, but we hope that we can make a dent. Essentially, we have three fundamental challenges in India. Disparity between rich and poor, again urban, rural, educated, uneducated. Demography. We have 550 million young below age of 25. We need to provide education, nutrition, health services, jobs to this group of India. It is their future that we need to look at now. 3, development. We really need to expedite the process of development. We need to build roads fast, provide more energy, more schools, more hospitals, more doctors, more nurses. So in a sense, these 3 have to go hand in hand with clear focus on inclusive growth. The real challenge for us is to make sure that the 300 million below poverty line can be lifted up. We still have a lot of illiterates. So our challenges are pretty complex.